Hey guys, welcome back to Gunpla News, episode 19 for June 2016. This is part 2, announcements. So if you missed part 1, you can go back and check that out. I talked about some news in the Gundam world and for me in my Gundam world. And in this part, like I said, we're going to be talking about some announcements of some new kits and figures. In part 3, we're going to be going over updates of kits and figures. Part 4 is third-party and resin stuff. And then part 5 is some featured kits. So stick around for all the parts. Again, if you want to see everything all in one go, you can watch it all as a playlist once all the separate parts are all uploaded. Otherwise, just watch whatever part you're interested in. This is, I feel, this video is probably the most interesting of all of them. Or the features is always pretty good, I think, too. But this is all the new stuff that's been announced, so this is probably the most exciting. So let's get into it, talk about the figure stuff first. The figurized bust of Mikazuki August. We did get some other figurized busts that were kind of announced. I'll talk about the rest of those here. But this one we did actually get a price and release date for. So this is going to be out in August for 1,200 yen, the same as the previously or the also upcoming Kira and Atherin figurized busts. So there's that. The other figurized busts that may possibly be released, we did see that there was ones for Char, Shin Asuka, Lacus Klein, Mikazuki August was there. That ones we're getting. Akihiro Outland. The one for Akihiro looks so weird. He's like this on the bust, and it's like, what's wrong? He couldn't fit onto the bust, so I don't know why they couldn't just scale him down a little bit. It looks really weird. That's very unfortunate too, because that would have been really cool if it was actually cool. Then there's also Lakon Stratos, Setsuna Seiei, Hoshino Fumina. It seems like a lot of fan service, basically what they're going for with these busts. Interesting that they have Char and no Amuro. It's kind of weird, but anyway, so those look kind of interesting. I'll probably have to try picking one of those up sometime in the future. Getting into some metal build stuff, then we did some new metal build stuff announced. The metal build Gundam Astray Blue Frame Full Weapon set, or I'm not sure. Just from what we've seen of this so far, there's no price or release date announced yet, and I can't tell if this is just the set, just the full armor weapon set, or it's the a whole thing with the blue frame Gundam and the full weapon set. I don't know exactly, but I guess it's probably just the weapon set. So recently the Metal Build Astray Red Frame came out, and then they had the flight pack was a separate set. So I guess it's going to be like that. But I don't know. Anyway, then we also have this is another option set for the red frame, for the Metal Build Gundam Astray Red Frame powered red option set. It's basically just another option set for the Metal Build Astray Red Frame with the huge powered arms. It looks really ridiculous. Some people have to be into it, I guess, but I'm just personally not. This one as well, no price or release date set for that, but I would guess probably around the fall, late fall, probably near the end of the year is when we'll probably see the release of that. Getting into some Robot Spirits now, with the release of the Robot Spirits cost signature XS coming out. Of course, now they also have to do its enemy mobile suit, the Zeku Zue. So we had the Zeku Eins, and there's Zeku Eins, Zeku Drai, and then Zeku Zue. Anyway, this is kind of the ultimate form of the Zeku Eins, sort of. Anyway, this looks really cool. The design, it's a little bit much for me. It's a little bit kind of overboard. It's too intense. I like the Zeku Eins, but this one is a little bit too much for me personally. Anyway, no price or release date set for this yet, but I imagine it's not going to be cheap. Definitely over $100, over 10,000 yen, surely. Then, let's see, we had some version anime stuff, a lot of version anime stuff kind of announced here. We had the Robot Spirits Char's Zigok version anime is going to be out in October for 6,000 yen. So I think the Zigok is already a design that looks pretty old school, even if you try, take the Real Grade, for example. The Real Grade is a really good example of taking this design that's kind of essentially very old school, but trying to make it look as modern and sharp as possible. But of course, this is the version anime, so this is going to be getting back to the little bit more derpy look of how the Zigok originally actually appeared. at the time. So it definitely has that anime feel, but some people should be into that, I'm sure. It looks pretty cool. The cool thing about these version anime kits figures as well is that they also come with really cool effect parts, I think, which is a nice touch to them. Then there's also going to be Robot Spirits GM version anime. No price or release date set for this yet, as far as I've seen, but that one I could imagine is going to be similar, around 5,000 to 6,000 yen, probably out near the end of the year, around the same time as the Zigok, or maybe just after, or just before. I don't know. Maybe I missed the release date for that. But then we had a couple of more version anime figures that were just kind of out of nowhere. It seems like the Goof Real type version anime is going to be coming out, so that's a pretty interesting kind of MSV design. And then also the Zaku Desert type, another MSV design here that we're getting in the version anime that, as far as I know, never actually appeared in the anime. That's just an MSV design, but does look really cool. And then also the Goof Test Prototype version anime. So we have the Goof Real type and the Goof Test Prototype, both version anime. And all of those, no price release date set for any of those yet either. I would have thought that those are probably going to be like Tamashii Webshop exclusives, just because of the fact that they're MSVs and not like from the anime. But I'm not sure. They do look really interesting, though. They look really cool. Last version anime thing we have is the Robot Spirits Dodai Yes and Goof Option Set version anime. I don't know if I'm really pronouncing the name of that right, but that's what it is anyway. It's basically just the Dodai for your Goof version anime to ride on. I don't think this is coming with the Goof. I think this is just the Dodai, but it says and Goof option set, so I don't know what else this is coming with for the Goof. Some sort of extra thing for the Goof, but I don't know. This is all we've seen of it so far, so that'll be coming out again much later. If you couldn't tell, all of this news of all this figure stuff, it came from a recent figure show. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but usually in these figure shows, they show off a lot of stuff, but these come out so slowly that like they show all this stuff and then like some of it I think just like never actually comes out, or it comes out like way later. I don't know. So it's kind of weird anyway. This is just all the stuff that we've seen so far. So a couple more things here. There's the Robot Spirits Blaze Zaku Phantom Ray Zabrel custom version. This one, again, no price or release date set, but we had the Lunamaria Hawk figure that's coming out soon. Looks great. I love the proportions of this. I think this figure looks amazing. I wish they would make a master grade of this design that looks like this with those proportions. That'd be so awesome. But in the meantime, you can check this out. There's also the Robot Spirits Gundam Barbatos option set. So the Robot Spirits Barbatos came out a couple months ago, I think, not too long ago. Now they're also going to be releasing an option set for that, which is going to basically make you able to make different forms of the Barbatos with this option set. So if you picked that up, if you picked up the Barbatos, then you might want to be interested in picking this up as well. Looks like you're going to have a lot of nice options there. Alright, so that's it for the Robot Spirits. And then getting into the Armor Girls Project MS Girl Full Armor Gundam Mark II, out in October for 11,000 yen. Now, the Robot Spirits XK signature, I think it is, Full Armor Gundam Mark II is going to be coming out around the same time for around the same price. So it looks like what they've kind of done is also decided to make the MS Girl version of that, tried to like coming out around the same time, just sort of giving some people some options, or anyway, just trying to sell more stuff. Anyway, looks pretty cool. Those MS Girl figures look really cool, but they're just so expensive. Like, I can't spend $110 for that. It's crazy, too much. They do look really nice, though. I will admit that. Then we also are going to have. These were originally announced as some MegaHouse PVC figures, but then they were set under some different company, and then they're like P-Bandai. So I guess they're P-Bandai PVC figure series for Hiro Yui and Relina Peacecraft in the Glory of the Losers version. So they're in like their Glory of Losers garb. Hiro is wearing like that big jacket, but you can also have it without the jacket, so that would be like more anime accurate, where he's just in his like green, I think it was like green tank top and like black shorts. basically. Or you can have the jacket on. Of course, you're going to want to keep the jacket on if you get this. These are expensive, though. These figures are 12,000 yen each, so 120 bucks each for these. But if you're a big Gundam Wing fan, those look pretty awesome. They look really, really nice. The Aurelian Peacecraft one looks really nice as well. As far as I know, there's no options to take off the jacket or anything like that with that. It's just kind of, that's exactly what it is. These are going to be sold, like I said, I've seen online this was listed as P-Bandai, but it also said that these are going to be sold in some select shops in Japan, like Gundam Front Tokyo, Gundam Cafe, Yellow Submarine, Volks, which would be Hobby Paradise. I did a video of there recently, as well as Yellow Submarine is one of the upcoming videos, one of the last ones that I have from my trip to Japan. Anyway, those look really nice though. And then there was also these other PVC figure series, whether it's MegaHouse or P-Bandai, whatever it is. The next set is going to be Mikazuki August and Orga Itsuka. No price or release date set for these, and all we've got so far is just the prototype. But the pose of them look really cool. Like Mikazuki's like putting on his jacket, and Orga's like putting on his jacket kind of thing as well. Like they're headed out to go do some battle or whatever. Anyway, cool poses, and the figures look pretty nice. Those are probably going to be undoubtedly very expensive as well. No idea when they're coming out either, so just kind of have to wait and see. Next, we do have some MegaHouse stuff. This is the MegaHouse Iron-Blooded Orphans Tekkaden Mobile Worker. No price or release date set for this either, but it does look pretty cool. It's coming with different options for like the weapons on the side. You can have like the kind of rifles or cannons, whatever they are, or you can swap those out for missile pods if you want. It also has some figures in there, a seated figure of Biscuit that you can have like in the cockpit driving, or a standing figure of Orga that you can have like standing with like the hatch open at the top. So that looks pretty cool. I'm not really sure what the scale of that is going to be. I didn't see, but having like a larger mobile worker would be pretty cool. I think definitely. I think Bandai really should have made that, but unfortunately, nothing from them yet. And then also the MegaHouse. I really don't know how to pronounce this, so bear with me. Ptolemus something container from Double O. The ship from Double O, it's not like the whole ship, it's just one of the containers, like one of the mobile suit containers from that ship. That's basically like a hangar bay. Like recently they made that hangar bay for White Base, similar like that. So I'm sure that's going to be probably pretty expensive as well, but no price or release date set for that yet. That's made to be used with 1/144 scale kits, just as a side note. So if you were thinking that you can use that with a master grade, it's going to be too small. I think you could probably maybe jam something in there, but it's not really made for that. Anyway, Next Edge, we had a Next Edge Strike Freedom Gundam recolor version out in October for 2,700 yen. Not just some of the colors are changed of it, basically. That's the only really thing different about that. But it's more shiny now anyway, it looks like. The Universal Unit Psycho Gundam Mark II is going to be coming out in September for 13,800 yen. Another really expensive thing. The Universal Unit was a new line of like small figures that I think I talked about last month or the month before that, possibly. And here they're showing the Psycho Gundam 1 as well as the Kasi Gundam. As far as I know, those haven't actually been released. Last I knew, those were possible candidates that Bandai was or whatever company is making those. I think they're Bandai. That those were considerable options. But I don't know if those have been released. Now they're also releasing the Psycho Gundam Mark II. But anyway, Psycho Gundam Mark II will be coming out in that line. Next, in the Gashapon, we have the Gashapon Senshi-07. Going to be out in July. Next set of Gashapon Senshi Dash. It's going to be out in July for 300 yen. That is including the Double O Gundam, the O Riser, which of course you can use them together if you get both of them. The Wing Gundam, the original Wing Gundam. The Mercurius, the V8. And the Unicorn Mobile Worker, I think it's called Mobile Worker, basically that kind of mobile, I don't know what else to call it, mobile worker kind of thing from Unicorn. Well, just look at it in the picture there anyway. And the last bit of figure stuff is Converge Series number 4 out in September for 5,400 yen. I still don't really get these because Converge was up to like Series 20 or 21, 22, something like that, and then they went back and now they're counting from 1 again or something. It's kind of weird, but and 5,400 yen for the set of these is also like really expensive. So maybe it is just a set. I really just don't understand that, but. These are what's coming out: the Strike Freedom, the Dynamis Gundam, the Garadoga Resin Schneider color version. This is blue version. The Bear Guy 3, the Jagan Echoes type, and the Bolonak Saman. Really interesting design. One of the more unique designs from there. So yeah, that's that. Look pretty cool. I wouldn't mind getting maybe 1 or 2 of those, but we'll have to see. Next, let's get into some P-Bandai stuff. We had a lot of P-Bandai stuff announced, actually. So let's get into it. The P-Bandai Master Grade Hyakushiki Kai is going to be out in July for 10,000 yen. Recently, we had the Hyakushiki Kai mass production type, which is very similar. That was just molded in, molded in gloss injected gold, kind of. This one is actually gold plated. So that's why it's going to be much more expensive, 10,000 yen for the price of that. It has a really cool backpack. Still has like that weird alien head thing of the Hyakushiki Kai. I don't know who's actually really into that, but apparently some people are. But yeah, that'll be out soon. You can actually, with it, they've advertised it as such, is that you can actually make just the Hyakushiki 2.0 with this. So like if you wanted a gold-plated Hyakushiki 2.0, you can get that with this. But I think the plating that they did for the Hyakushiki 2.0 in like that more sort of dull gold is much better, but you know, somebody might be into that. More gold in the P-Bandai Real Grade Gold Frame Astray Gundam coming out in July for 3,000 yen. This has some cool things aside from a new 1/144 scale pilot figure specific for this. It also has the new bazooka. It's got the gold frame, of course, is like the big draw of it, but has the bazooka, which is really cool. I really like that bazooka that comes with this kit. It's like a bazooka cannon sort of thing, whatever you would call it. Big gun. I'm almost tempted to get this just for that gun because I really like the look of that gun. It also has option parts to have like it with the arm cut off, to like just have like this. It's not really even a stump of an arm, just not having an arm. So you have that option as well. So those are the P-Bandai Gold kits that have been announced. So we also had a P-Bandai RE100 Ifrit Schneid announced for the fall of this year. We don't have a price or release date set, but I don't care. I'm definitely going to be getting that. I was really, really hoping for that. I think in a previous episode of Gunpla News, I'm sure I talked about that. That I really, really wanted. I was hoping that we would get our first P-Bandai RE100 kit in the Ifrit Schneid, and it was true. I can't believe it actually worked out like that. So definitely looking forward to getting that. As you guys know, if you saw my previous video, I recently announced that I'm going to be working on the regular Ifrit Custom in a build-off with some of my YouTuber friends. Check out that video if you missed that little update. So yeah, that's that. More P-Bandai. The P-Bandai HGUC Cubelay Mark II Elpo Pru use is going to be out in September for 1,800 yen. Earlier this year, I think in January, we had the red version of the Cubelay. This is the purple version of the Cubelay. Again, nothing new about this. It's going to be exactly the same as the red version, just now molded in purple. How this differs from the regular Cubelay, though, in terms of new parts, is it has the new beam saber that has the 3 beam effect parts on it instead of just a single beam saber effect part. That's really going to be the only thing different in terms of plastic. Otherwise, it's just a color swap. Anyway, the P-Bandai HGCE Revive Blast Impulse Gundam out in August for 1,800 yen. This is one that I know a lot of people were very excited about as well. I'm not really the biggest fan of this personally, so it didn't really get me as excited as, for example, the Ifrit Schneid did. But this does look really cool, I think, and a lot of people will be enjoying getting this. There was another one, what is it, the Sword Impulse Gundam that people are hoping that we're going to get a revive. Maybe probably a P-Bandai kit of the Sword Impulse. That's possible. Anyway, I think the Blast Impulse is probably the more popular one of them. Then we have the P-Bandai HG Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Barbatos Complete Set out in July for 3,000 yen. 3,000 yen I think is not a bad price. In a previous episode, or in some previous video, I think it was like the last episode of Gunpla News, or sorry, the last episode of Gunpla Talk, I think we talked about this maybe briefly. In that, I said that I thought the price seemed a little bit high. Now that I know more about this, I think it's not a bad price at all, 3,000 yen. It actually includes everything to make 2 kits of the Barbatos. So you can actually make 2 model kits out of this. And it includes all of the parts you need to make any of the 6 forms. So you can make any 2 versions out of 6 of the Barbatos that you want. So that's pretty cool. It also comes with 1 Tekinen mobile worker. It's included on one of those runners. I'm sure that's why it's included in there. So really cool. If you don't already have any version of the HG Gundam Barbatos, maybe pick this up. It seems like it's a pretty like definitive version to own if you wanted to get a HG Iron Blood Orphans Barbatos. Then we had a couple of P-Bandai Jagans. Again, more P-Bandai HG Jagans. These are HG Build Fighters versions. We have the HG Build Fighters Ghost Jagan F out in August for 1,800 yen. Then also the P-Bandai HG Build Fighters Ghost Jagan M out in August as well for 1,800 yen. So they're pictured in, I think they were pictured in the magazine with parts of the HG Build Custom K9 pack. I think like one of them was wearing the backpack, the other one was using the rifle of that, but that's not actually included in this kit. So just to be clear, that K9 pack is not actually included in either of these. If you want to do that, you have to buy that separately. So yeah, those are both coming out in August for 1,800 yen. And then a couple more here. Here, the P-Bandai HG Build Fighters Gerbera Tetra Kirara Custom out in August as well for 1,800 yen. It seems like August is going to be a very busy month for HG P-Bandai stuff. This is just another recolor of the Gerbera Tetra. It has a different head. That's the only thing. The regular Gerbera Tetra has the antenna that's like on the back on the side. This one has a like very standard commander antenna, which is just like right in the front and center. That's the only difference with this. Like with the recent release of the Gerbera Tetra's like rollout version that just had a few new parts for the head. This is the same thing, just recolored, a few new parts for the head, that's it. Whatever. Anyway, and then there was also an announcement that a P-Bandai item related to the Master Grade Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt version is going to be announced. We don't know what that is yet, but I'm really curious as to what that's going to be because I can't really imagine what it's going to be. The only thing I can really come up with is that maybe it's going to be like an effect set for the Full Armor Gundam there. I really don't know, so that's kind of interesting. The kit seems to come with everything there, so I can't imagine what else they're going to add to it. So possibly it's just an effects part set, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to end up being. All right, now we had a lot of news, of course, from the Shizuoka Hobby Show, so not really all that many new things really announced. But we did see some really cool stuff. We saw that there is going to be a Master Grade Psycho Zaku Verka. So aside from the Full Armor Gundam Verka that we're getting very soon, actually, we're also going to be getting a Master Grade Psycho Zaku Verka out in winter. We don't know exactly the price or release date, and we haven't even seen a prototype of this yet. But we do know that it is coming out sometime in the winter. This is possibly going to be like our big December kit. That I think that's probably a good possibility. So probably later at the Gunpla Expo and another show. There's another show coming up like the end of summer usually. I forget which one it is, but we'll probably see more about that at that time. And then of course the big news that everyone went crazy over was the Real Grade Shinanju out in August for 3,800 yen. Definitely the most expensive standard release Real Grade so far, but seems like for good reason as it is having gold-plated parts. All of the gold lining is now gold-plated, and it has like the black parts fit in between the gold lining, so it's really kind of interesting way that they've developed that. Looks pretty cool. I don't know, I have kind of mixed feelings about that though, so I don't know, I'm just going to wait and check out the kit before I make too much judgment about that. What I do like about it is some of the new gimmicks that they've built in. The thruster unit on the side of the legs now has a gimmick that kind of like opens out. The backpack unit now has a gimmick that opens out as well when you open up the backpack. Before, like the Master Grade and the High Grade, both of them like the two center like thruster parts in the backpack are just like fixed there, but now you're able to like actually like open them up, like separate them, and like I think that's like separate and extend them out a bit. So it looks really awesome, I think. So at first when we first saw images of the Real Grade, I was like, so like, whoa, how really different is it from the High Grade? Because it really didn't look like just on the surface, it really doesn't look that different from the high grade. But then when you see some of those new gimmicks that they've built into it, it does look pretty awesome. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. I love the Shinanju, so I'm happy about that either way. I'm looking forward to that. Next is the HGUC Revive Hyakushiki. This is the big number 200 HGUC kit that we've been waiting to find out. Turns out it's the Hyakushiki. Unfortunately for me, this is, again, not really all that exciting because it just looks like, and it's advertised as so, just like a scaled down version of the Master Grade 2.0 basically. Shares some of the same gimmicks, so like with the eyes, being able to choose between 3 different eyes, just the visor, sort of eyes behind the visor, or like the digital like dashes behind the visor. Same as the Master Grade. It's molded in like gold injected plastic. This doesn't really look that good. Of course you can paint it, and I think that probably will be the way to go. So I don't know, it seems kind of fitting for a 200, but something that's just not really all that exciting. Personally, I don't know. It's going to be a cool kit, I'm sure, and I'm going to really like it. I like the design of the Hyakushiki, but I have the Master Grade 2.0, which is an awesome, amazing kit. So I don't really know why I need a high grade, which is like of the exact same thing. But there are worse fates, I guess. So that's going to be out in August for 1,200 yen. A lot of this stuff is out in August. Anyway, then there is going to be a P-Bandai add-on for that. There's going to be a P-Bandai HGUC Mega Bazooka Launcher for the Revive Hyakushiki. No price or release date set for that, but I'm sure it's going to be sometime very shortly after the release of the Hyakushiki. So if you want to get a Mega Bazooka Launcher for that, you can get it through P-Bandai here. Again, nothing really about that yet, but we'll surely see more about that soon, probably next month. And then from Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, the next in the HG Iron Blooded Orphans lineup is going to be this new red Gundam, which looks similar to the Astaroth. But this one as well, like the Astaroth, is from a manga side story, so it's not actually from the anime. We won't probably be seeing some new HG kits from the anime until the second season starts, or is just about to start. But this looks like a really cool design. It's from the side story Iron Blood Orphans Gaiden, I think is what it's called anyway. This is out in August as well for 1,400 yen. Then we had some new kits coming out from Gundam Build Fighters, as the new OVA series for Build Fighters is coming up later this fall. So we got some new kits coming out from that. We have the Gansalot, which is going to be out in August for 1,800 yen. Again, a lot of this stuff coming out in August. August is going to be a very big month. Gansalot looks awesome. I really like this. Definitely looking forward to this. Probably one of the kits that I'm looking forward to the most this year. Looks really, really cool. Backpack is a little bit odd. It's cool that it has the effect parts coming out of the backpack, but it looks a little bit not really that great. I love the effect part in the head, like the rooster thing in the head. It's very similar to kind of like the V-fin of the Unicorn Phoenix in Unicorn mode, kind of similar to that. But I really like the look of this, definitely, so I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. This one I'm also really looking forward to, the HG Build Fighters Double Zeta 2. Gundam out in August for 2,600 yen, a little bit more pricey, but it's obviously a little bit more of a kit there. It's basically sort of like a mashup of the Zeta 2 and the Double Zeta, sort of kind of brought together, and looks really cool. I like it more than Double Zeta and more than the Zeta 2, so I like it more than either of those separately. Together, I think this is looking pretty cool. Really high heels there. If you're not into high heels, not really going to be a kit for you, but I think it does look pretty cool, and I really like the gun that it comes with as well. It has that very big Zeta 2 style gun. Then here, next is the HG PG, the HG Pucci guy. The Panda guy out in August as well for 600 yen. So just a new version of the Pucci guy, basically. Now it's just in black and white like a panda, and it comes with a little bamboo sprig that it can hold in its hand. Very cute. And then a couple of HG build custom part sets. The first thing is the Northern Pod out in August for 600 yen. That looks really weird. I don't really get that at all. The cool thing about that set is it comes with 2 different heads. Those heads look really cool. They're sort of like, almost like really kind of like frame arms looking style of heads, or other anime or other robot series, I'm sure that you guys can tell me of what those look like. But they definitely look different from normal Gundam heads, so those are going to be cool, I think. The weapon things, though, look really weird. I'm not really into it. Then there is the HG Build Custom set for the Eastern weapons. So we have the Northern Pod and the Eastern weapons. This one also out in August for 600 yen. This looks really cool. It's like just a huge cannon and then a like spear. Both of the weapons look really cool. I think that's probably going to be a really popular weapon set because everyone likes big guns. And if you have a kit that doesn't come with a big gun, now you can buy this big gun here. It looks like a really pretty cool one for 600 yen. And it also comes with that spear as well. Spear looks really cool. A spear basically looks like a different version of the spear that the Gansalot has. That was one thing that I forgot to mention about the Gansalot. It's the Gansalot spear. I think you're getting 2 of them, or you have like 2. I think maybe like 1 spear like staff, and then like the top part you have 2 different versions of it. Maybe you can switch it out, like an open form and a closed form. Anyway, that's that. So that stuff looks really cool. The next in the RE100 line has been announced. After last month, it was a mystery. We couldn't really tell what it was inside the secret box, but now we know that it is going to be a RE100 Bawu. We don't know which version of the Bawu it's going to be yet. Could it be the unicorn version? Could it be that other guy's name? I forget. The red version or the green version? There's different versions of the Bawu out there, so we don't really know which one it's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be a cool kit. It's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate like the transforming, like the separating of that, if that's going to be built in, or if Bandai is just not going to do that. Because the RE100 line, in terms of like the mechanics of it, they're not really the most complex. They're really pretty simple. So I wonder if they're even going to bother doing that transformation gimmick in this, or just maybe just not do that and have it just only available in mobile suit mode. That'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. Right now we don't know anything about the price or release date of that yet. Hopefully it'll be out in the fall, but no news yet. And the last thing here is the SD BB Senshi Gundam Barbatos. So not only do we have the X Standard Barbatos that's out very soon, should be getting that sometime in the next couple weeks. We are also going to be getting an SD BB Senshi version, which honestly looks vastly superior. The price is more. It's 1,200 yen, so it's double the price. But you get all the parts to make all 6 forms of the Barbatos, so that's pretty cool. 1,200 yen for an SD, and you have all the parts to make any version of the Barbatos that you want. I'd say that's definitely the better version. It's worth paying double the price for that, I think, if you ask me. And that one is going to be out in August for yeah, like I said, 1,200 yen. The other thing about the BB Senshi line compared to the X Standard line, less stickers. The BB Senshi line is just more part separation, which is better. And then I think less hollow spaces, which is better. So again, you get what you pay for. If you want something cheaper, go for the X Standard. If you want something with more stuff and sort of like just kind of better, then get the more expensive one. But even the more expensive one is still cheap. So that's it for all of the announcements. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff that was announced, a lot of figure stuff and a lot of P-Bandai stuff, a lot of new things from the Shizuoka. So it's now been like a month since Shizuoka, so none of this stuff should be really all that big news to you guys. But just in case you missed something, hopefully this episode has been interesting for you guys. Up next, we're going to go over all of the updates for kits and figures. We're going to try to get through that as quick as possible. Stay tuned for that coming up next. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.